No! God, please, no!
I'm happy. You happy? Little round files, a little paddle file. Not pedophiles, paddle files.
Oh.
Those things are handy, handy. Okay. Page 8. Check. We are out of there. Page 9. We have 3 more pictures to decipher. We're going to install the horizontal fuselage into the slot of the vertical fuselage and then CA the fix. Notice, make sure both fuselages are perpendicular to each other. Well, that's sound advice from China. So, one of the concerns that I had when I started this kit, because the pictures were, it was hard to tell. Like I said, beautiful pictures, too many of them too small, or not too many of them, but just too small. I wasn't sure if the fuselage was supposed to be first and then the wing would go on top of that, or meaning on the bottom of it because it's flipped upside down, or did the wing go first and then the fuselage go on top of that. And at the time when I was looking at that trying to figure it out, I didn't see this. Now that it's all glued together, I can see it. When you put that in place and all the little tabs match up, you got a little step down there with a little relief for the wing. So I will go back and I'll put that information in text or something when and if you start one of these kits. I did go online, I looked at all the manuals for y'all, and it appears all of the single wing, it doesn't include the bi-wing planes, but all the single wing planes, the wing goes down first and then the fuselage on top. So if you use my little trick on how to square it up, put the wing down, lay it out, outline it, pin it down and outline it on cardboard, then you can take and put the fuselage, set it down, pin the top or the bottom or whatever, and move things around a little bit so that wing will stay stationary for you. Okay, so I got my straight edge. Let's see, right there. If you do this, be very careful. You only want to cut the plastic. You don't want to cut into the foam. If you start cutting into that foam, you're going to start making a weak spot. So you want a brand new, super sharp razor blade.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I do better freehand almost than I do with a straight edge. And you can feel when you get through that plastic, or if you're working with monocoat, you can feel when the knife gets through there. I don't know how long it was off, but I can only go 30 minutes. So this picture, or the last one on page 9, they've got tape going underneath here, over the top, and down here. And showing that there's a big importance that this is all held together and glued very well, because this is where, you know, the motor and all the stress and everything comes from. Trying to, and I don't know when the camera shut off, so I want to recap real quick, but trying to glue the whole top half and getting it lined up, especially here by myself with only 2 hands, I'm going to say that would just turn into a nightmare. So I've got it mocked up now, and we checked for square just to make, double sure. I mean, right now it's kind of all the carbon fiber will straighten all that up, but everything looks good. Run a straight edge all the way down the side, everything looks straight. So what I'm going to do, we removed that strip of plastic where this thing sits, and I'm going to work on the nose here first because this is where the big importance. So I'm going to lean this thing over, and I'm going to work just here from in front of the wing to the firewall. That's going to be the only thing I'm going to focus on right now, because I want to make daggone sure that this is straight, square, well glued. I will also show you another trick that I have come up with. Now my point ability with that activator is not very good. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. If you look at the glue joint, you apply pressure and you're seeing glue squeezing out, then that means that the glue is still wet and that there was some space there. Well cured before I start wiggling around on anything else, because I don't want that to pop back up. Okay. Next section we're going to do, got this nice and well, straight, perpendicular and all that good stuff. Now we're just going to go on top of the wing. And as I run it down here, I'm just going to kind of push the fuselage over. If there's not a tab, if there is a tab, I'm just going to push up against it to put enough glue to make sure it can get up underneath there. And then I'm going to come to that area and I'm just going to lift up just a tad. So glue sucks up in there. And I'm going to push back down. And I know I'm not a big activator user, but only having two hands with what this is, I've got to get this thing to stay so we can move on. But again, I've got an amazing little trick I want to show you cats here in a minute that will kind of double ensure that you get this thing glued well and it holds together well. Okay, now from here to the back of the wing is done curing. I really don't want to do a bunch of lifting up at this point. What I do, I want to make sure that we got enough glue to get up underneath there. This is just tough, man. right there I've got about a 2-inch mark that's got a little gap that I'm not particularly happy with. I think page 9, check.
Ta-da!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have moved to the double digit. And I was already in the double digit and didn't know it because the first thing there is to glue the top and the bottom fuselage together. And depending on, let's see, okay, now it's talking about tape. This can be a pain in the rear to get right. See, they've got this thing bevel cut on one side. So if you hold this thing like this here, in that position, when you tape it, theoretically it should come around and open up. You'll have relief this way and it would work. But I just gotta tell you, man, it's you don't have much room for tape there. It's just not a good system all the time. This particular thing, it's one piece plastic thing, and it seems to work fairly well. And I'm wondering, I'm going to put it on hold and I'm going to look for something, see if I've got it, and if I do, I'll share it with you.